your girl, Jessenia Vice, and you're tuning in to This Is 50's Like a Boss. I'm your host, Jessenia Vice, and with me, I have Tru-N-Livin. Thank you so much for coming out. We were just chopping it up before the cameras were rolling. And one thing about Like a Boss is it's not that you got to be a boss already. It's you got the like mentality of a boss so that you can achieve not only your dreams, but get to where you are and inspire people. So we got people here that have been grinding, moving, hustling, and we actually talked about something that I want to revisit. You told me that 2 years ago you met the man, the one and only, my boss, 50. Tell me how that went and what happened and transpired, because now look where you're at. You're here at This Is 50 at 50's office.
Indeed, man, that's a blessing. I met 50 2 years ago, north of Orlando, where I stay at one of those events he was holding for F and Vodka. And it was like, I seen the flyer probably a day or two. I didn't really have enough time to go up there like that, organized, but
He still went.
Yeah, I still went
That's
up
what
there.
bosses do.
That's what I'm saying. I said, I copied that too from the book. So check out the 50th Law.
There we go.
Move even when you're not ready.
Yep.
So I went up there, and met him, shook hands, we talked for a little bit. I threw him an MP3, what I'm saying?
Fancy.
It was totally different. I ain't throwing nothing, like CDs, like everybody else, plus he said something about it on the record, so I felt
Stand
out. So I threw him that, and he looked at me, he gave me a good head nod, gave me a dap, like he was about to put it on the table, and he said, nah, he threw it in his pocket. So I don't know what happened from there. You know what I'm saying? So get at me. You know what I mean?
That's such good energy. That's so good energy, because now you're in New York, you're here, and it's kind of like that 360. I was telling them, when I invite guests over, it's because I have an ear. So 2, 3, 4 years from now, when these dudes pop off, just remember they were here first with me, Jessenia, at This Is 50, Like a Boss. So tell me originally where you guys are from and how you got together.
Well, originally I'm from Connecticut, Hartford, known as the Heartbeat. We met at the airport randomly working. We were ramp agents at the time. Started at the same exact time. It just so happened. I was going to catch the bus. He was like, yo, you want to ride? I'm like, I'm to myself, so I'm like,
What sign are you?
I'm a Gemini.
And you?
Cancer.
Oh, okay. So you guys kind of balance each other out. All right. So you guys, okay.
So that from there, I was like, all right. He's like, I live around that way, just catch the ride. He was playing some music. I'm like, the person that's rapping is nice. He's like, that's me. I'm like, nah, that's not
that
you.
Ain't you. That ain't you.
That's not
Do you get
you.
that a lot? Do you get that a lot?
Yeah, I get that a lot.
Because you are a tall mama. You tall. But you have a good build. Like you look like you're firm.
Yeah, I'm solid.
You solid. So you didn't believe that was him on the record.
No,
but it
was.
was.
Yeah, so he's like, yo, I spit. So I'm like, let me hear something, I guess. So he started rapping. I'm like, oh, okay, it is you.
Yeah.
So he's like, what, you do music too? I said, yeah. He put on a beat. I just started freestyling. And he's like looking at me like, nah, you ain't freestyling like that. Yeah. So that's from then we just decided to just keep going.
Dope. Tru-N-Livin.
That was like 2008.
Tru-N-Livin. Where did that name come from? Franchize.
I don't know. One day I did a poem and I put franchise, but I really didn't understand the meaning because I was young.
Yeah.
So I put that in a poem, and since then people just started calling me it.
Franchize.
And then I added the Multytalent because they had franchise boys, and all these people started coming with them names. So I'm like, I gotta add something
to it. Great minds think alike, right?
Correct.
Great minds.
So the Tru-N-Livin name, originally, and you probably hear it in some of the old works we got because this music's still being released. My original name was Flames Confetti. It's like, I flame on my flame and I'm turning into confetti, But I decided, hey, let me twist up my name. I got inspired by a lot of people that was, the 5%, nation. I was, intrigued by that movement.
No.
Especially J Electronica. That's one of,
shout out to him.
Dope lyricists.
Yep.
So he said something in the line one day. Caught me off guard, you're saying he's the Tru-N-Livin, and I'm like, I was like, the way he expressed it, I was like, that's me right there.
That's you?
So
everything manifests from something. That's the story of bosses. You heard? That's the story. Let's talk about your projects that you're coming up with. Tell us a little bit about that. Tell us how that's going.
Okay.
When can we expect something?
I have a compilation project because we both, you know, we're together in a group, but before we were together in a group, we were solo artists.
Yeah.
So we still do both things.
Yeah.
And the project I was doing was a compilation of 3 demo tapes.
Okay.
I got the idea of demos from 50, by the way.
Shout out to
It
Boss.
was a record.
Boss.
He said, you know, he brought back something, a throwback thing, you know, when people used to be out trying to hand their demos to people to listen to them, and he was doing that, you know, please listen to my demo. And I was like, that's dope.
That's
so
right.
I said, you know what, let me come up with something, you know, just demo, like a small EP type joint.
Yeah.
A couple little records just so people could listen to it and check it out. Locally, it was a success. I made another one, you know, and it got, you know, a little bit of ears, but I'm not real good at doing all the promotions and all that other stuff, you know, so I do everything myself, you know.
Yeah.
Album cover, everything, so.
Damn, graphic
Promoting
designer and
all
everything.
that, all myself. See, we up here, right?
You got me confused. 'Cause
No
I thought he was,
manager.
I thought he
We
was
grind.
manager, but he's talent as well. And I respect that. You want to know why? Because for years, that's exactly what I've been. Wearing all the hats,
After that, I just came out with a project called Just Listen to My Album. 'Cause I had 3 compilation joints of demos that was full of great records. And I said, you know, let me come out with an album. And we got a project also that we've been working on for a while. It's called Welcome to the New Era.
Nice.
So before the Welcome to the New Era album, we're coming out with a Welcome to the New Era prequel.
Okay.
So it's
I
gonna
like
have,
that.
Yeah,
There are levels to this.
I have a, you could say a mixtape dropping.
Okay.
I call it a feature tape.
Okay.
Because it's nothing but features.
Oh, dope.
I'm about 80% done.
Okay.
So once that comes out, that'll probably come out before the Welcome to the New Era album because we're waiting for clearances and we've been reaching out to people to, you know, be able to use beats on the album.
Yeah. So tell me, as a new listener, I mean, I'm a fan, but if as a new listener, why should somebody click the link, get your project, download, purchase? Tell us why we should take a listen.
Do you hear the stuff that's out right now? I don't want to make a comparison. I don't really like doing comparisons.
Well,
but
compare.
the same way you would sometimes get a good, you know, conscious vibe like a J. Cole.
Okay.
And, you know, you might have some, you know, some real hot club bangers like 50. You know what I mean? Or Remy and Joe. One of those. We bring that kind of vibe. You know, we have a good, you know, good feel, and we definitely lyrically inclined.
Yeah.
So we just want to make sure that the balance is full. We don't want to just give you a hot beat.
Basically bringing back what hip hop and rap was all about back in the days, which is what, you know, it's sort of lacking. I think our generation really needs to have that. I mean, there are records that people, like you said, you can bob your head to, but you're like, damn, that's deep too. There's a lesson to be learned, you know. So let's fast forward 5 years from now. Where do you see yourselves, and who by then would you have already hopefully collaborated with?
Oh, that's a good question. 5 years from now, I see us making a lot more bigger moves than we're making right now. I mean, I see us on every platform. I see us back here with you doing a follow-up, you know, as usual. And definitely somebody I'd like to work with, definitely Fifth, you know. And I ain't just saying that because I'm on the I've been following
he's a
Fifth
fan.
for a minute.
He's a
I've been
fan.
rocking with him for a minute.
That's respect right there.
So yeah.
And what do you aspire for this to lean towards?
The same thing, you know. I really want to work with more of the back in the day artists, like Jada, Beans, Fab, like Joe Budden, like those type of artists that still are doing it.
And Fab is still doing it. He's still doing it.
So those artists that we want to work with. We don't want to work with really no mumble rappers.
Shout out to DJ Clue, that's my homie. He introduced me to Fab, and I tell you, Fab is a really amazing, down-to-earth person. So if you ever get a chance to work with him, I mean, you guys will definitely make some magic. I'm gonna stamp you both at the same time, my boss stamp. Ready?
Okay.
Because you guys are bosses.
Okay.
Thank you.
So now, before we leave, I want you not only to give us your IG handle, but before we leave, I want you to be able to let the audience, who's an aspiring artist, talent, how do you keep going? Because sometimes people just stop. They stop pursuing their dreams. And, you know, I'm sure we've all been very close to it, but what has allowed you to keep moving forward?
what has allowed us, I would say, is you have to have someone there in a sense to kind of push you when you feel like you're not motivated enough. So, for instance, some days I might be like, hey, we might as well just, you know,
throw in the
I
towel.
don't, you know what I mean? And he might be like, nah, let's keep going.
Yep.
Or he might be like, you know, it's kind of, and then I'll give him the motivation, like, nah, we can't stop now.
That's
We
dope.
already started, so you can't quit.
Your team, your support system.
Yeah, you
is
might as
vital.
well go to the end. If you fail, you fail.
Yeah.
If you don't, you don't.
You at least know that you gave it your all. There's
Exactly.
never a what if. You gotta take risks sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta invest time, love, passion, all that stuff. Make sacrifices.
Exactly.
You know, I made a how to be a boss a few tips.
Yeah,
we broke it
I
down
seen
into
it,
three videos. So
love that
for
shit.
those
Yeah.
that didn't watch that, check that out because it's real. And also, I think one good key is to speak things out into the universe.
Facts.
Write it down, read it, and speak it. And when you do those 3 things, my God, magic happens. Magic happens.
I got a funny story.
What's up?
I'm gonna bring it out.
Tell me.
I don't know if you remember, but I was like, you know, because I'm a big fan, and I watched certain videos, especially that the Kai Green.
Yeah.
video.
Oh, shout out
That's
to
my
Kai.
guy. That's my guy. So I seen you on that. Every time I go to the comment section, and I always write, I'm like, yeah, you're gonna interview me next.
And you know what's even funnier? Oh my God. And you know what's even funnier? When I saw Generation Iron Netflix, it was my very first time. I didn't know anything about the bodybuilding world, and now it's funny that I work with Generation Iron too.
Yeah.
I saw Kai Green. He stood out like my guy. He stole, and I was like, I am going to interview him at This Is 50. And then 2 weeks later, he's in the office, and I'm interviewing him. The power of the spoken word, for real. The power of the
Definitely.
spoken
That's
word. So thank you, gentlemen, so much for making your way out here. I am literally getting goosebumps because of not only you having met 52 years ago, but you being here, and then you predicting that in 5 years something will happen. I'll pray for you.
Definitely.
And I'm a fan and I'm a supporter, so make sure to check them out. I'm your girl, Jessenia Vice. This is 50, Like a Boss. Make sure to leave a comment, ask these boys some questions, ask me some questions. I'm
Definitely.
back. Mwah.